The Philippine education system has its own set of challenges, but like all others, it aims to provide an inclusive and accessible education for every Filipino student, a testament of the nation's dedication to nurturing the minds and futures of its youth. At the heart of this mission is a step towards innovation in the educational system, the concept of multigrade class teaching.
And in this video, we're going to be tackling all about multigrade class teaching and its 5 key areas. I'm Teacher Cami.
And I'm Teacher Ben, and we are your presenters for today. This video will be divided into 5 parts. The first part discusses the nature and concept of multigrade teaching. The second part will be about the history of multigrade teaching. The third part are the principles of planning for multigrade class teaching. The fourth part will be about the principles of teaching a multigrade class. And lastly, we will be discussing the benefits and challenges of multigrade class teaching, as well as the roles of stakeholders of multigrade class teaching. So let's start.
So what is multigrade class teaching? Multigrade class teaching is described and defined by different researchers.
According to Cornish 2006, multigrade teaching is an educational setting that can be found in multigrade classes. This means that students from diverse grade levels are combined into a single classroom, and these classes are formed due to many factors, which we'll be tackling a little bit later. Rambla 2018 describes these classrooms mainly in elementary schools as a classroom with 2 or more grade levels being educated by one teacher. These classes are known as combination, composite, or vertically grouped classes and may arise because of economic necessity or by deliberate choice due to perceived advantages. These kind of classrooms can accommodate diverse abilities, which allow teachers to implement flexible grouping strategies based on the individual learning needs of students. So, multigrade classrooms, as per Nodalo, capitalize on the diversity it offers, which makes its students demonstrate independence, cooperation, innovative thinking, and tolerance towards others. That's why it's no surprise that multigrade class teaching is a powerful tool that creates an inclusive educational environment allowing simultaneous learning, making it an innovative strategy within the Philippine educational system.
So what is the reason for conducting multigrade class teaching?
Well, there are many reasons why we are conducting multigrade class teaching, at least here in the Philippines.
The main reason, according to researches by Tayoni and Abosejo 2023 and Naparan and Alinsug 2021, is that the program addresses concerns about completion rates among elementary grade level children, especially in remote villages here in the Philippines, where schools may not have complete grade levels. So initiated by the Department of Education, the Multigrade Education Program, MEP, aims to ensure all school-age children complete their elementary level education within their villages, which actually reduces the need for parents to send their children to urban schools. And with a shortage of teachers, especially in the rural areas, multigrade class teaching offers an alternative solution to this very issue by combining multiple grade levels within a single classroom. Their program aims to achieve education for all, EFA, while overcoming challenges posed by teacher scarcity. Another reason that proves its innovative nature is how it's such a cost-effective method that, according to the papers of Naparan and Alinsug 2021 and Motamedi and Quadjuri 2020, multigrade class teaching increases the participation rates and academic achievement of the students in the rural areas. So if done right by the teachers in charge, it will be just as effective as a monograde class. Lastly, little did we know, the multigrade teaching approach can actually encourage students to participate actively in various activities and performance-based learning. As mentioned by Saraspe and Abosejo 2020, Mendoza Sintones 2019, it will help the teachers to know their students better. And this approach will also allow the students to discover their skill by providing tasks and activities that are linked to the curriculum according to their needs of different grade levels.
So, when did we start conducting multigrade class teaching?
Well, it started decades ago actually.
Before multigrade education, multigrade class teaching was predominant in formal education. However, the importance of multigrade teaching grew significantly, especially in rural areas with limited teacher availability and challenging conditions. Researchers demonstrated its effectiveness, highlighting its historical roots as a prevalent model, especially in the 19th century USA, where many schools were multigrade or one-room setups. In the 1800s, the one-room schoolhouse dominated North America's educational landscape, serving as a primary model for formal education programs. Multigrade teaching, where one teacher instructs students of various ages and abilities in elementary grades, became prevalent. And over time, the one-room school evolved into a community-based education system, fostering a fluid learning environment where everyone contributed at some point. But in the 1900s, the American introductions of single-grade schools caused a significant decline in multi-grade schools, but later on, multi-grade schools were able to get back on track to address educational concerns such as shortage of teachers and lack of educational resources for remote areas. In the 1960s and 1970s, open education became a major educational innovation in multi-grade classrooms. As previously mentioned, this is what causes the community-based learning, whereas learning is student-centered and usually done in larger groups. It was identified that there is a significant difference between the time requirement and skills of single-grade teachers compared to multi-grade teachers. The setup of first mission schools in the Philippines were multi-grade teaching, which were introduced by Americans in the early 1900s due to limited enrollment, distance, teacher shortages, and funding challenges in rural areas. The practice of one teacher handling more than one grade became common since at least 1920s, and in 1993 it was formally implemented by launching the Multigrade program in the Philippine Education or MPPE with the belief that it will act as a practical solution to bring education to school-age children located in geographically isolated, disadvantaged, conflict-affected, and sparsely populated communities. The multigrade teaching class was defined in DepEd Order No. 96 series of 1997, together with the roles and responsibilities and the combination of multigrade classes enhancing elementary education accessibility by offering the entire curriculum in every public school. Based on the data provided by the Department of Education in the school year 2013-2014, 31.7% or 12,278 out of 38,683 public elementary schools operated multi-grade classes. And among the regions, Eastern Visayas had the highest concentration, with multi-grade schools comprising 58.3% of its total public elementary schools. Conversely, Central Luzon, characterized by highly urbanized areas, had the lowest proportion at 12.4%. But despite the variations in regional distribution, multigrade education affected a significant portion of students, with 9.5% or 1.4 million out of 15 million public elementary students enrolled in multigrade schools in 2013. At this point, multigrade class teaching has already become an important part of the education system. However, as pointed out by Veenman 1995, multigrade teachers often lack preparation, as their style of teaching is more suited in a single grade class setting, resulting in lower performance than monograde schools. So, as a response, the DepEd implemented programs that could help multigrade teachers, such as the DepEd Order No. 81 series of 2009, helping multigrade teachers in training, and the DepEd Order No. 30 series of 2014, which helps allocate financial resources as support in strengthening the multigrade classes.
So, how do you think multigrade class teachers manage their classrooms with different grade levels and ages?
You're not wrong. It can be challenging. Teaching multigrade students requires careful planning and understanding to ensure effective pedagogy and student academic achievements. Hence, there are 5 principles of planning to consider.
Number 1 principle of planning that needs to be considered is teachers should know the learner first. In planning for multigrade class teaching, teachers should prioritize individualized instruction and assessment, acknowledging the diversity of learning levels and styles in the classroom. This involves conducting comprehensive student assessments to understand strengths and weaknesses, allowing for effective tailoring of instructional strategies, including the nuanced implementation of flexible grouping, a key aspect emphasized by Tomlinson in McTighe 2006, to address the unique learning pace and abilities of each student. For the second principle, we have the jump-jump strategy, allowing opportunities to develop independent learning leadership. This method offers opportunities for both students and teachers to develop independent learning and leadership. In a study of Bungala et al. 2020, Rekla and Putain 2024, this strategy involves instructing one grade level while the others engage in independent work based on prior lessons. For instance, you will give activities in grade 1, then move to the other grade level to have the discussion. This multi-grade teaching approach utilizes group rotation. This caters varying grade levels within the same classroom. The teacher can assign a member to lead and facilitate group collaboration. In this way, we can manage our classroom effectively. The jump-jump strategy is a common practice not just in the Philippines but also across Southeast Asian countries. For the third principle, we have the teachers should have sufficient resources. According to the research conducted by Motofela Richard Misimanga, a lecturer at the University of the Free State, it was found that teachers having sufficient resources in teaching multi-grade students positively impact commerce education, curriculum studies, and teacher education, Misimanga 2019. This highlights the importance of resource availability in effectively teaching multi-grade students, as these resources enable teachers to provide personalized learning experiences and cater to the diverse needs of their students, ultimately leading to better educational outcomes. The next principle that teachers need to consider is that they must plan in a systematic and organized manner. It is because in multi-grade classes, one teacher is handling a different level. Therefore, if teachers plan systematically, it will also be avoided for students to lose interest and become bored. The first step that teachers need to plan is how to manage time and movement. One teacher must plan where and how to rotate to be able to accommodate all students in one class. The next step is to prepare for the class. For example, let them be quiet on their own and realize that they need to move in the class, especially if they are from the PE class or break time. Presents new material for students like reading, games, listening, or watching. The next one is to enhance the students' engagement by preparing activities that involve both students and teachers. The final two principles involve fostering students' metacognition and reflection through a summarization of their understanding at the class conclusion. Additionally, the last principle entails offering guidance, feedback, or instruction for the next meeting, ensuring students are informed about what to anticipate. For the last principle, we have the integration of technology. Teaching in multi-grade classes is very challenging, as there is a lack of sufficient time to handle grades in the same class for a single teacher. That is why the integration of technology in the teaching and learning process is crucial. This practice can be carried out by a multi-grade teacher through the application of digital tools as part of his or her instruction. By utilizing such tools in the classroom, both teachers and students can discover methods to enhance their learning as well as allowing the students to have instant access to all the materials they need. Technology serves as a tool that the teacher employs to deliver lessons with ease and speed, saving time, space, and mental effort.
Now that we know the principles in planning, how about the principles in teaching multi-grade class?
When teaching a multi-grade class, teachers should consider these 7 principles according to Method 2001. These principles, when integrated into the teacher's pedagogy, cultivates effective learning experiences for their students. So, what are these?
Each child is a unique individual with distinct physical, emotional, social, and intellectual characteristics shaped by their own experiences, feelings, likes, dislikes, interests, and needs. So, teachers should be able to create an instruction to meet these diverse needs at varying grade levels. This is by using flexible grouping, varied materials, and multiple teaching strategies to accommodate these individual learning styles and abilities. Children learn best through hands-on experiences, utilizing their senses to explore the people, objects, events, and places in their environment. So, teachers can incorporate this in their multi-grade classes by allowing hands-on experiential learning activities into the lessons, provide opportunities for students to explore, experiment, and discover concepts through real-world applications like field trips, experiments, and projects to enhance learning by engaging the students in active participation.
We're
working in groups or pairs, children discover diverse perspectives, fostering concrete learning experiences. Particularly among children aged 7 and above, peer interactions promote honesty and comfort in expressing themselves. So it's important for teachers to foster a collaborative learning environment where students work together through sharing ideas and learning from each other's experiences. Group projects, peer teaching, and cooperative learning activities encourage students to collaborate, communicate, and support each other's learning. In a multigrade classroom, the teacher plays a crucial role in creating a supportive and inclusive learning environment where all students feel valued and challenged. This includes designing flexible lesson plans, managing classroom dynamics, and providing individualized support as needed. With that, teachers create a structured yet flexible learning environment that promotes engagement, independence, and responsibility. Establish clear expectations, routines, and procedures to facilitate smooth transitions and minimize disruptions. Use classroom management strategies to address behavior issues promptly and effectively. It's also crucial to adapt curriculum content and teaching strategies to cater to the varied needs of students. Employing differentiated instruction enables teachers to effectively reach students at their individual levels and provide suitable learning support. This involves creating tailored instruction to address the diverse needs present in the classroom, like offering a range of options for content, process, and product to accommodate different learning styles, abilities, and interests. Clear learning objectives and ongoing student assessment are also essential for successful multigrade teaching. Monitoring progress and adjusting instruction ensures meaningful advancement for all students. Practical implementation involves setting measurable objectives aligned with standards and student needs. Utilize both formative and summative assessments to track progress and adapt teaching strategies for improved learning outcomes. It is also important in a multigrade class for teachers to create opportunities for multi-age grouping or peer mentoring programs, as integrating students of different ages mirrors real-world social dynamics, promoting empathy, cooperation, and mutual respect. It also provides opportunities for older students to develop leadership skills and for younger students to learn from their peers. So, what are the steps that teachers take to make this happen? To begin with, teachers adapt the curriculum and lesson plans to cater to the diverse needs and abilities of their students, ensuring that the content is accessible and relevant. Teachers must also devote their time to develop teaching and learning materials that align with their students' learning styles, interests, and developmental levels that foster a supportive and enriching learning environment. Moreover, teachers employ versatile teaching strategies such as instructing all groups together or providing differentiated instruction by teaching one grade while others work independently. They may also teach a single subject to all grades but at varying levels of difficulty, catering to individual student needs. They also recognize the importance of incorporating the student's mother tongue into the instruction, as it enhances understanding and engagement, especially for students from diverse linguistic backgrounds. Furthermore, it provides collaboration where students can use language they are comfortable with, which can enhance their comprehension and overall learning experience. Creating active learning strategies involve designing activities that engage students in hands-on, collaborative, and problem-solving experiences to enhance their understanding and retention of the material. Also, teachers can create dynamic and inclusive learning environments where all students can thrive and reach their full potential. This means that it utilizes various formative assessment techniques to gauge student understanding and progress throughout the learning process rather than simply assigning grades. And lastly, practicing self-reflection on your teaching and your students' learning allows teachers to continuously improve their instructional practices that may influence eventually in evolving the needs of their students.
And just like teaching any pedagogical tool, multigrade teaching has both its benefits and challenges.
So let's start with the benefits.
Multigrade classes benefit schools by maximizing resources, enabling more efficient use of teaching staff and facilities. Multigrade classes also benefit the teacher. Multigrade classrooms promote social cohesion and community building by fostering strong relationships among students and teachers. The extended time spent together allows for the development of close bonds and a sense of belonging. Students learn to work cooperatively, respect differences, and support one another, creating a positive and inclusive learning environment. Lastly, multigrade classes benefit the students. Multigrade classrooms facilitate the collaboration and mentorship among students of different ages. Older students can take on leadership roles, mentoring younger peers and fostering a supportive learning community. This dynamic allows for the exchange of knowledge and skills across age groups, promoting mutual learning and personal growth. Multigrade classrooms mirror real-world environments by exposing students to diverse age groups and interactions. This prepares them for future social and professional settings where they will interact with individuals of varying ages and backgrounds. By experiencing collaboration, leadership, and teamwork in a multi-age context, students develop essential skills for success in life beyond the classroom.
But if there are benefits, of course there are challenges that teachers, the students, and the school experience in multigrade classes. What are these?
One of the biggest challenges multigrade teachers experience is the limited access to instructional materials, textbooks, and resources that will accommodate the diverse needs of learners across multigrade levels. It is really challenging to provide different and engaging learning activities and experiences for all the learners with such limited resources. Managing a multi-grade class is tough. Teachers must juggle time for lessons while giving personalized attention to each student. They need to prioritize content and activities to ensure every student learn effectively. Multi-grade teachers need training, seminars, and support in differentiated instruction, assessment practices, evaluation, and curriculum management. They require access to professional development tailored specifically to the needs of multi-grade learners. Teachers may adapt their lessons to fit the different learning needs of their learners in a multi-grade classroom. To provide more individualized learning experiences, teachers need to differentiate their instructions based on the skills, interests, and learning preferences of their students, and this might be a challenge. Another challenge teachers face are the environmental factors that might cause distraction in multi-grade classrooms. These include noise from nearby classrooms, limited space or resources, and interruptions from external sources. These challenges make it difficult for students to focus and for teachers to maintain control of the class. Due to the lack of time and the requirement to meet the different learning needs of learners, multi-grade classrooms may also find it difficult to complete the entirety of grade-level curricula. This may lead to gaps in the knowledge and abilities of the learners in various subject areas. Since multi-grade classrooms often include different age groups for group collaboration, some learners may find it difficult to effectively collaborate and interact with different grade levels that lead to communication barriers, disagreements, and unequal participation. And one major challenge for schools is the lack of facilities, impacting the comfort and performance of both teachers and students. Inadequate facilities can lead to poor learning environments and hinder overall development. And schools often struggle to allocate teaching staff, instructional materials, and classroom space effectively. Limited resources can lead to overcrowded classrooms, insufficient support for teachers, and a lack of essential materials impacting the quality of education provided to every student. Another thing that might be a challenge for some teachers is ensuring the curriculum meets the diverse needs of students across multiple grade levels, as it requires careful alignment of instructional materials and assessments. So what exactly are the roles that different stakeholders play when undertaking multi-grade teaching? Multi-grade teachers play a pivotal role in educating students across different grades, tailoring their approach to meet individual needs and foster holistic development. They act as guides, motivating and facilitating learning across various subjects and grade levels, emphasizing effective planning to optimize the learning process for diverse student groups. In multi-grade classrooms, students can assume leadership and peer tutoring roles, fostering collaboration and responsibility. They also have the chance to develop resourcefulness and independent learning skills, benefiting from exposure to material from both preceding and subsequent grade levels. The school administrator provides funding for instructional materials and visuals in multi-grade classes. To tackle challenges, the school principal can implement scheduling policies and coordinate training sessions on effective teaching methods for multi-grade classrooms. The community is essential in various activities such as supporting classroom development and maintenance, as well as creating curriculum resources. And as for the government Government support is needed to elevate the status of multigrade education and provide it with equal recognition as traditional institutions. This includes establishing guidelines, allocating resources, and monitoring program effectiveness to ensure continual improvement.
And that's it for everything you need to know about multigrade class teaching.
We hope you learned a lot from this video, and we'll see you in the next one. For now, we'll leave you with these questions.
Bye! See you around!